Of course, there's always going to be someone who's a better performer, way more talented, way more beautiful than you, etc., etc. But there was just something about my spirit that guided me towards the direction that I was like, yeah, this is definitely going to happen. I just have to have resilience. I wanted to act. I wanted to be respected. I was really pushing to solidify myself in pop culture. I realized there's a void for really good dance, really heavy. I knew that Bollywood was driven through dance and music. So I thought, let me figure out a way to kind of backdoor the industry, because it was really hard to get into the industry. And I'm like, okay, well, I have given myself 5 years to make it. Like, I invested in opening markets. I didn't just invest in singing or a music video. I invested strategically. I did my first song in Arabic. So I thought of it as like a globe. So India is right here, and the Middle East is right here, and America is right here. So when I invested in myself the first time, it was to open up a new market right here.
You're still investing in yourself.
Yes.
You're still investing in anything from Google Ads to influencer outreach. You are one of the few artists who will do that.
That's the only reason why I'm here today, because of that energy. I had that even in 2014. There is no stability and security in our world. You don't know when you're going to make your next check.
Yeah.
You don't know when the next money is coming in. You don't know if you're going to be famous for 15 minutes or 15 years.
You have a large fan base. You have people who love you, adore you, and you've really dominated a market, right? What are you chasing now?
I never want to be comfortable. I think what makes a star is the ability of, are you aspirational? Do the women aspire to be like you? Do the men aspire to be with you? And do the kids aspire to become you?
Nora Fatehi is the global dance icon and actress who's turned her Bollywood superstardom into an international movement. From headlining massive global stages to appearing in international shows and movies to now launching her Warner Music debut, she's proven herself as a true cross-cultural powerhouse. With her bold new single, What Do I Know, featuring Shenseea, Nora steps into her next era, fearless, funny, and fully in control, standing as proof that when you bet on yourself, you don't just rise, you redefine what's possible. Do you struggle with acne? Because I did. I'm not kidding. I was 25. I was breaking out. I was insecure. And I tried pretty much everything under the sun to clear my skin. I tried antibiotics. I tried every topical cream. I've tried benzoyl peroxide to tretinoin. I've tried isotretinoin, which is also known as Accutane. Unfortunately, none of it worked. I got really bad side effects and I kind of had to start over. So what I did was I discovered something called holistic medicine. Now in holistic medicine, they basically practice things a little bit differently than traditional doctors do. And what my holistic doctor put me on was a regimen of 10 different vitamins to help clear my skin. And within a few months of trying these vitamins, my skin completely cleared. Now here's the thing. I was in my 20s. I was spending $250 a month on these supplements, and it became very expensive for me. So I literally sought out to create a product for myself so that it was more affordable and so I could help other people who were struggling with acne just like myself. And so that's what led me to Clear Within. Clear Within is a product that I created. I spent 3 years putting together the formula, finding the best manufacturer, and finding the best partners. And I'm truly so lucky and fortunate to have been able to help hundreds and thousands of people around the world clear their skin from within. This supplement has so many amazing acne-fighting ingredients, including an Ayurvedic one like curcumin, which is a highly potent concentration of turmeric, alongside many other amazing things for your skin. So if you want to give it a shot, I have a code specifically for my podcast listeners. It's POD25, that's POD25 for 25% off. And you can use that code at clearwithin.com. Again, that's POD25 for 25% off at clearwithin.com. Back to the episode. Nora.
Yay, we're here.
Thank you for being here.
It's going to be amazing.
It's so good to have you. We just came off a crazy shoot.
We did. It was insane. I'm still recovering.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
So I was feeling so nervous and almost unsure.
Unsure about what?
Because first of all, I've never really shot with, in terms of music videos, I haven't really shot a music video with a lot of VFX. So I already know what my music video is going to look like. Especially most of my music videos are either outdoor. I have one I did indoors, but I directed it. So I kind of know what it was going to be. This was one of the one of the first times where I'm like, okay, I'm in the cockpit. It's like a half airplane. I see it, but I don't. And then I'm like, it's a red room with stairs. What is this gonna look like? So for me, it was almost, kind of like threw my whole trust in your hands, as one should, because you are the director and I'm the artist. But I am known to want to play different hats, and I'm a control freak, so I want to do everything and be a part of everything. So even me having to kind of sit back and let you do you was so tough for me.
Really?
It really was. You asked my makeup artist, Mariana. Like, it was so tough for me because I'm like, I don't know him. Like, it's the first time I'm working with him. What if this is going to be my worst video ever? And I'm not a new artist, right? I'm obviously new to this side of the world, but I'm not a new artist, and I have so many fans. I'm established. I've done a gazillion music videos, and that's part of my brand. But for me, it was like, whoa, this is me gambling. But then I saw the video yesterday, and I felt like a large weight just came off my shoulder, and I'm like, no, this is great. And the beautiful part is, anytime I go for the edit, when it's the first round, first cut, there's always a lot of changes. Hands down, I know when I'm on the way to the edit room, I'm already ready to make changes. But yesterday, I think we made 1.5 change, not even. It was very little. It was amazing.
I'm a one take kind of guy. First, you don't have to do a lot with me.
No, it really, I'm sorry. I definitely underestimated you, even though I saw your profile, and I obviously asked if we could work together based on the things I've seen, but you really just never know.
Yeah, of course.
Know what I mean?
It's always a gamble with anyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, first off, thanks for trusting me.
You're welcome. You're like, I worked with the best in this year. Sorry, my bad. Are you allowed to swear on this podcast?
You can say whatever you want.
This just came from India and she doesn't trust me. I get it.
No, I actually
get it.
I love it. I mean, it's so fun to cross cultures, and like you said, it's officially your first video in the States, right?
It really is. I did one small video independently 2 years ago here, where I shot with a very small, if I tell you the budget, you're going to laugh. I shot it for $40,000.
That's not a lot. That's bigger than a lot of big artists here, believe it or not.
Well, for me, it was the
small.
Yeah, most of my videos are between 150,000, 200,000, but they're grand. Snake, which is a song I did with Jason Derulo and we released in January. That video cost us 220 or 40,000.
Where'd you shoot that?
I shot it in Morocco.
So your money went far.
Yes, it did, because it involved some VFX. Not a lot, but a little bit. But in terms of travel, getting the whole crew, flying Jason and his people to Morocco.
Is that included in the budget you're talking about?
Yes, of course. Yeah. And 2 days of shoot. And we shot in a studio on the outskirts of Marrakesh, which is a very big studio. They shoot movies there. Hollywood movies or, big Arabic movies. And so it was a very interesting place to shoot. But yeah, so that cost me $40,000 to shoot in LA, and we shot in a warehouse. And that's it. It was 8 hours in a warehouse, few dancers. That was me experimenting with the vibe here. It was a song that I thought was amazing at that time. I don't really like it now anymore. And it's funny because sometimes as an artist, you're like, yeah, this is such a great song. And then you invest some money in it and you put so much energy. And then later on, you're like, I'm not feeling it. I'm in a different era now.
Wait, you don't like Snake anymore?
No, I love Snake. I'm talking about the one that I did for $40,000 in LA.
Okay. Got it.
That was, there's just I was just finding myself, honestly. And I think I'm still finding myself. But I would definitely say this song that me and you shot, Just the Girl, What Do I Know, is definitely a song I know lands where I feel like this is me.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
What was your favorite part of the video so far from what you've seen?
So far, I would say the airplane sequence in the aisle, because I got to show my funny side. And I really think I'm a funny one, man. Sometimes I crack myself up.
I got to give you credit. We were talking about this yesterday. I got to give you your props. You're so good at impromptu improv. When that scene where Shenseea is trying to get the life vest or the whatever it was, the inflatable off your neck, and you spun around and you landed. That was so funny.
But you know what my mindset was in that moment? I'm like, listen to me, Nora, this is your moment. Like, it's now or never. Take out all that funny cards you have hiding. Take it out now.
That's
So
dope.
I
That's
felt like I
awesome.
was like auditioning for you or for the world. Because I used to do these comedy skits on social media back in the day before I popped off. I popped off in 2018.
Okay.
So way before that, to get attention so people can, get my, understand my personality and just follow me. I used to put a lot of funny stuff, like comedy skits about my childhood with my mom and the dynamic between my mom and the dynamic between me as a person and the culture I come from, which obviously, like, when you get older and you live life, you look back and you find the funny elements of it. You go, it was tough, but actually now that I look back, it's kind of funny. So I take a lot of that and I do a lot of satire or dark comedy or just like parodies. And that was a thing of mine for the longest. And that's how a lot of people got to know me before I became who I am today.
Really?
And then somewhere, you get busy in the hustle, you get busy in trying to maintain this image, this brand, this aesthetic. You don't get the time to do that kind of stuff. And in this video, I felt so good being able to get back to being like that quirky, silly girl that's who I really am. My fans know that. But that section where we were in the aisle where I'm pouring like coffee on the guy's lap and I'm like, oh, so how was your day? Oh shit, okay. Trying to get, you don't get to see the whole thing in the music video, but the whole take I thought was so funny, like trying to get it into the cup and I'm like missing and getting distracted while I'm still pouring it. So these are the things that I really, really enjoyed. And I think this is what's going to be the highlight of the music video. People have seen me dance, maybe not this part of the world, but over there, people see me dance all the time and they expect me to dance. And somewhere I felt good that you as a director decided to also bring in the comedy aspect of it. So that was, and even the cockpit. Oh my God, the cockpit with Shenseea also was so funny. And we were just like being so silly and the moments of screaming and losing ourselves and then getting back into driving the plane. All of that, I think, is a highlight for me.
That's awesome. I feel good. I mean, like my job as a director is like being a psychologist in a way.
Right.
My job is to obviously make sure you're happy, make sure my crew's happy, make sure I'm happy, and I'm balancing different personalities and people on set. And at the end of the day, like, what better way to have a shoot than to make sure my artist feels comfortable in her own skin to be herself and
For sure.
and bring out that inner childhood of that humor or whatever she had. I think that's awesome. So I'm glad we did that, and I think people are gonna love it. I think people are gonna go crazy over it.
Definitely, for sure. I mean, look, every music video I've shot, there's always like some F up on set, and there's always like the conditions are always never favorable.
It's never perfect.
And I didn't even tell you when we were on set, like obviously it was so hot on that plane.
I know.
Don't ask me why. I don't know why it was so hot, but it was like an oven.
Wait, which one? With the cockpit or the plane?
No, the plane.
It's because the AC went out for like 20 minutes.
Okay, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They fixed it. I'm sorry.
They did?
They did.
Did they fix it when I left?
Well, No, here's a problem. You know what it was the AC was in the plane, but then when we shot, we had to take it out. It was that tube.
Okay. Well, it was an oven. But I mean, I was complaining so much about it. But then I realized when I went home, hold up, I always either shoot in extreme heat or extreme cold. Like I've never really shot in a favorable climate, which is really sad. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, example, I just released a month back, I released O Mama Tetema, which is a single of mine that I'm featured there with another Swahili artist, Rayvani, and Shreya Ghoshal is the Hindi artist. And I'm like, the whole video we shot in 50 degrees Celsius, because I'm Canadian, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Hot, right?
What is that in Fahrenheit?
I actually want to.
It's so important because 50 degrees Celsius is like
122.
Yes.
Where was this?
We were in Rajasthan, which is a part in India, which is known to be extremely hot in certain times of the year. It's a desert.
When did you do this? Like summer?
We did this recently. Like we released the song in August. We shot in July.
That's actually okay. That's way worse than the plane.
I know. That's why I'm like, when I went home, I had to say, hold up. You just got off a hellfire, and it was so hot to the point that like the wig I was wearing was melting off of my head, and the makeup was like, and my co-artist Rayvani, like if you see my BTS on my YouTube channel, he's talking to the camera holding this miniature fan,
No way.
and he's like leaking,
Drenched.
like a tap water. It was insane. And then last year I shot a song in Georgia, and it was minus, I think minus 10 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was
That's freezing.
freezing, and we were shooting at 3:00 in the morning.
That's insane.
Outside in a hilltop with extreme winds coming from all directions. So this is just an example of environments I've shot in. There are way worse. I'm not gonna bother you. So that plane sequence with no AC wasn't that bad. But you know when you dance and it's so hot,
Of course.
you feel like you're gonna have a panic attack.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It amplifies the stress you're already putting on your body.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, I will give you props too. I didn't know this. I didn't know your ankle has been like hurting or
Oh my God.
they like, we pull up in the morning and they're like, Nora needs ice. I'm like, ice for what?
I know,
Like,
it sounds like a diva. Like, get her a bucket of ice.
they're like for her ankle. I'm like, did she hurt? I thought you hurt yourself.
No, I've been hurt.
I didn't know this. So I
Yeah.
was freaking out. I'm like, no, she can't dance. What's going on?
Oh no, don't worry. I will dance even if it trust. Like I always figure it out. But I have just struggled with this ankle injury since last year. And I injured it on a movie set in the most dumbest way ever. Like I've done lifts in the past and I've done stunts in the past and crazy stuff. But this day is the day I decided to hurt myself by just doing like a little jump.
No.
Insane.
It's always like that.
It's always like that one stupid thing.
Yeah.
So I was down for 3 months. I was in a wheelchair for like 2 months, crutches for a month. It was a disaster. But it was also a disaster for my mental health because I never experienced such an injury in my career that it really affected me. I was really like mentally down. And also it was at a time that there was a lot of PR games happening in my industry when I was injured and at home trying to recover. So those PR games of like, oh, you know, the new Nora is coming up or this one's going to replace Nora and that. And there was a lot of people paying their PR to drive this machine. And I saw it like heavy on social media. And I imagine sitting at home and your ankle is the way it is. You can't move and you're looking at all that stuff. So it was a time where I had to really like make myself stronger, and even though I have a thick skin, make it even thicker.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh hell no, we're not doing this right now.
Wait.
Give me 2 more months.
They're just trying to drive you away because of your injury? Like they thought you were done?
It was probably like just timing. Like I was injured, I was out of work, I couldn't move, and then it was an opportunity to be like, let's try and kind of get her replaced.
Is the industry like that?
I mean, any industry I think is savage, right? It's the entertainment industry. I think is savage here, is savage over there, is savage everywhere.
Right.
But it's competitive. It's a competition, essentially. And that's just like the nature of the game. So I wasn't feeling any way about the nature of the game. I was just in my head about, I need to get better. I need to get like stronger than ever and quickly recover. Like I would go to my physiotherapist and I'm like, which machine will increase my recovery time? You know, like if I will recover in 2 months, I need to recover in 1 month. So it was like the funniest time of my life because I discovered like different aspects of my mind and my spirit, how strong I am and how resilient I am and also how competitive I am. I would see those things and I would cry for like 5 minutes. And then the rest of the day, I'm like, all right, so when I do get better, this is what I'm about to do. It's going to go down. So it was an interesting time. And actually, when I did get better, I went straight into back-to-back shoots, back-to-back projects. And right before the year ended, I just shook up the industry again. And then January hit, and then my first single with Jason came out. And so it's just like, this is what happens essentially to any artist's career. If they're willing to like hold on, you come back again, a little dip happens, and then that comes up again.
Yeah.
But when that dip happens, are you willing to drive it back up, or is that when you're going to give up? Because sometimes people give up when that dip happens.
Yeah. There's a saying, it's, you know, I think it's 1 step back, 2 steps forward, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes to level up and get ahead, you have to take that step back and it's okay. Like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, yeah, for sure. In the moment, it's hard. especially when you don't have control. It's a physical situation. You can't control it.
Yeah.
And it's just time. You have to wait for time to pass. But yeah, it was a very interesting time.
Very interesting time.
Yeah. So that ankle still hurts today if I do a little too much.
Yeah.
So when you saw me that day, I just got off of like a 1-month film schedule, which was physically tiring. And then I traveled to Mumbai. I was in the south of India for that film. Then I traveled to Mumbai for a big song shoot for a movie. And that was physically exhausting because the dance moves were like extremely advanced. And then I hopped on a flight and came straight to you. 4 days of dance rehearsals. So the ankle was like, stop it.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot. You're doing the most.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any favorite music videos or artists growing up that may have influenced you today?
Beyonce, heavy, because I don't know, everyone says that in every interview, but it's the truth. I roll back to when I was 11 in my bedroom and Crazy in Love came out. And I'm like, I need to learn that move and go to school and show off to the girls, because some of the girls could do it at school and I wasn't able to do it. And the only way to be popular and cool is if you could do certain dance moves. And I'm like, I have to nail this.
Yeah.
So watching that over and over again. And, Shakira was a heavy influence because, as a North African, she has a lot of, Arab and African influences in her music and her art. And at that time, it was very scarce. You didn't see a lot of artists who showed that aspect in their artistry, whether it's belly dance or certain outfits or certain body movements or certain sounds in the music. So I felt there was a slight representation of someone like me. So I was heavily influenced by that. People like Jennifer Lopez at that time and some Arabic artists and, some Bollywood movies. My influence is extremely diverse.
So you watched Bollywood growing up?
Yes.
Oh, you
Sure,
did?
yeah. Everyone in my world did, growing up in Toronto, we were all kids, like children of immigrants,
Yeah.
and I was around Somalian people, Kenyan, Guyanese and Indian people and Caribbean people, and all of them watched Bollywood.
Your
so-
family too?
Yeah, we all watched Bollywood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your story is
We
interesting.
didn't understand Hindi,
Yeah.
but we watched it
You watched
because
the
it was
movies.
dubbed in like English or Moroccan or whatever language you were watching it in. And we were just like, we would resonate with the culture because it was so family oriented at that time, the movies that they were making and the music and the emotion that was being depicted. It's just something that we were drawn into. Yeah.
I feel so ignorant saying this, but growing up, the only movie that was like remotely Bollywood related, you could probably guess. What do you think it was?
I don't know. What would it have been?
It's like it was the only one of the few Bollywood films that it wasn't even fully Bollywood, but like it was one of the few mainstream ones of like the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s.
Was it?
It was the Slumdog Millionaire. I know.
I mean, it did have a very big actor.
I mean, I'm
Neil
just saying
Kapoor
that's
is
how
a massive actor. He's an icon. But yeah.
That's how ignorant I am.
That is not, you're not ignorant. You're just you just didn't have like access, I guess.
I didn't. There's no access. It wasn't like a big thing here. Of course, if you're Indian.
It depends on which community you roll with.
That's true too.
Yeah. Like who were the people you were like growing up with?
Not culture at all. My city was very conservative and like white. It's either like white or Hispanic. So I was like the only Middle Eastern kid. Not the only. I was one of a few Middle Eastern kids, few black kids.
No way.
Like,
where was this?
it's like Simi Valley.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a small city, 45 minutes north of here.
Okay, so you're a Cali boy since like
Cali
birth.
boy.
Okay, didn't know that.
I was born here. My parents are from Iran. They immigrated here. And I was born here. Then we moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
Even whiter.
Right, yes, yeah.
And we were there for like 3 years. And then we moved back. So my experience here has been like very...
Okay, so no, you can't really blame you. Your
No
environment
culture.
was such. But
Yeah.
maybe if you were in New York or if you were like, I don't know, you would have had more exposure.
Yeah.
Toronto is very cosmopolitan. If anyone doesn't, I was born and raised in Toronto. So cosmopolitan. Like even the kind of music I was exposed to from early on, we were always exposed to music like dance hall, heavy on dance hall,
Cool.
which is crazy because a lot of people in America still don't really like know much about dance hall music. We've been knowing about dance hall since we were like 10 years old. It's crazy. Like right now, Vibes Cartel is the hot guy in the scene now after he's come out of jail.
Amazing artist.
But we've been waiting for him to come out of jail since like 2010,
Right.
or 2011, whenever he did go to jail. But in 2010 in high school, we were only listening to Vibes Cartel music. So and only now a lot of people in America are understanding the dance hall culture and Afro culture, which is something that we grew up with. So it really depends on like what area of the world you're in.
That's a good point. And again, we've talked about this before, and I just want to talk about it here. I really want to understand your trajectory and your story because, like you said, you were born in Toronto, raised in Toronto. But you're Moroccan.
Yeah,
So
Moroccan.
your family's immigrated? They immigrated?
Yeah, so my mom and dad are from Morocco.
Okay.
And they got married and they moved to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're raised in Canada, but you're an Indian star. Not just Indian, South Asian star.
Yeah.
You're just a star. You are a star, but your audience, a lot of them are in South Asia. I'm trying to connect the dots. How does this happen? Because you're not Indian at all. You're not South Asian at all. You're Moroccan.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm North African. Yeah.
You're North African.
Yeah.
You didn't speak the language when you blew up, right? So
of course not. Oh my God. When I moved to India from Canada, I was like a completely different person. So like, I was so ghetto. Like,
ghetto?
Yeah, so ghetto.
What do you mean?
And so like from Jane and Finch, and I'm like so proud to be from Jane and Finch. Jane and Finch is like the hood of Toronto,
Got it.
okay? And like, we spoke with like a twang in our Canadian accent. It was like, I don't speak like that anymore much. I kind of cut it off my personality because nobody understood me in India. It was like so bizarre.
Wait, how does it sound?
I don't know now, but sometimes Drake sounds like that. Sometimes like in a funny Drake stream,
He'll do that stuff, yeah.
Like, yo fam, broski,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What's up, wagwan, like
Yeah,
all these things.
yeah.
That's how we were. And I moved to India like that. So it was very bizarre for a lot of them. And then me as a 22-year-old, I'm like, yeah, like I need to assimilate fast because this is great in Toronto, but not when you want to kind of be global or international. You have to kind of,
Come on,
assimilate.
fam.
Yeah,
What
right,
you mean,
What
fam?
you mean, broski? Like, what are you trying to say? Like,
That's hilarious. You literally code switched. You switched your...
Literally, well, now you have to take me back to Toronto and I have to chill there for like a few weeks and then it will all come back,
Really?
But when I was 22 and I went to India, it was really a moment where I said, well, this is not going to work here. And I got to learn the language because if I'm really going to enter this competition of trying to make my name in this industry, which mind you, at that time, I understood the value of Bollywood. I understood that is the second biggest cinema industry in the world. And I also understood that in the next couple of years, the population of the South Asian community is going to be explosive.
Yeah.
So I knew that if one, gets, captures such a market, it's a big achievement. So I understood that. I just needed to understand how to change my personality, learn the language, assimilate, understand the culture, certain things like body language, certain things like accent, like a heavy Canadian accent. Who's going to understand that, in that part of the world? And you need to tone that down. You need to kind of talk like them more, their lingos, their slang, a lot of these things that one must it's like transforming yourself. And I did a lot of that. So it was an interesting journey.
So you popped off as a Moroccan-Canadian person.
Yeah.
But how did that happen?
Oh my God, how did that happen? Well, the funny part is when I went to India and then I started kind of understanding the game of like auditioning, and then you audition, you get your callbacks and stuff like that. I was doing a lot of ads at that time. And as I was doing ads, I was auditioning for movies. So I got my first movie as like a supporting actress, and I played this female commando. Commando is like an army person. And it was a movie of newcomers. And at that time, I was still understanding that, if you really want to become like an A-lister, you have to do a movie with an A-lister actor or like an A-lister director or an A-lister studio. I was just trying to figure out things. But this was the only opportunity I got and I took it. And it allowed me to learn how it is to be in front of a camera and on set, because at that time I've never really been on a set before or even in front of a proper like movie environment. So I said yes to that. I did that movie. It released. It didn't do that well. And it had like a bunch of other newcomers and everyone's like vying for this film to do well, that it could be the turning point in our lives. It didn't, and then I went on to try and figure out my own path. With that, I understood that I needed to first kind of like learn the industry, analyze it, take a step back, understand who are doing well right now, who are not doing well, who did well and disappeared, or who did well and ended up having longevity, and what the void is in the industry. Funny thing is, when I did that first film, before it released, I was sitting with the team, like the director, the producer, the PR people, and they were all like, we do believe you're going to pop off in this country because you have like the X factor. And for that, we need to tell everyone at least you're half Indian.
What?
And I was like, I don't know what, something spoke to me, my spirit, and said, nah, don't do that shit. You might be the first non-Indian to do it. So at least own that, image. That would be so cool to say that one day. That was 10 years ago. So I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I would prefer to just let everyone know who I am and where I'm from. If it doesn't work, because in their perspective, which I get 10 years ago, which was the case, it wasn't really a thing like a foreigner to be accepted. They will always see you as a foreigner. But I was so determined to, win their hearts through my ability to learn the language, through my ability to assimilate and to embrace the culture, and through my ability to have them a part of my journey. So I never really like agreed with that, allowed people to know who I am throughout those couple of years. And I ended up doing everything. I did reality shows. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys have Big Brother here.
We have Big Brother.
Yeah, so I did like Big Brother. I did Dancing with the Stars as a contestant.
Yeah, we have all that.
I did I dabbled in different industries within India, because in India we have Bollywood, but we also have the South industry, which is the South Indian Tollywood movie industry, and they speak different languages. So I dabbled in that industry, did some appearances there. And then I realized there's a void for really good dance, really heavy artists who can heavily perform. And I knew that Bollywood was driven through dance and music. So I thought, let me figure out a way to kind of backdoor the industry, because it was really hard to get into the industry.
Yeah.
There are gatekeepers. There's that thing of like families and names and who are you? Like, are you like associated with anybody? Like, who's your boyfriend? Like, a bunch of these things happen. And I think it happens here too. It's normal, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I have given myself 5 years to make it.
Okay.
I cannot make it with this game. So I need to backdoor it and kind of like do it without anyone anticipating that I could solidify myself in the industry. And I'm like, maybe through dance. So I did a lot of dance appearances in movies, because that's a thing in Bollywood. You could be hired just to dance in a song in a movie.
Okay. And before you continue, who's opening these opportunities for you? You know what I mean?
Well, I was with an agency.
Right.
So opportunities will come via an agency, an audition opportunity will come. I was such a hustler. I would go on a movie set and like I would have recordings of me dancing on my phone, like professional. Like, for example, a white background, and I did a whole choreo in costume and had someone record it. And I'll keep it in my phones, and I'll go on sets and show directors and really like put myself out there.
Like Bollywood directors?
Yeah, for sure. And I would get those opportunities of dancing in a movie for 5 minutes as the main performer.
Damn, so you hustled your way like into people's getting their attention.
Yes, because I'm like, it's going to take that 1 5-minute opportunity that the whole world is going to fall in love with me. I was just so convinced that I could do, I just had it in me, and of course there's always going to be someone who's a better performer, more talented, way beautiful than you, et cetera, et cetera. But there was just something about my spirit that guided me towards the direction that I was like, yeah, this is definitely going to happen. I just have to have resilience. And I did a lot of these things that people were telling me not to do. So you'd always have advisors around you like, oh my God, no, you really don't understand the industry. You cannot do a reality show. If you do a reality show, you'll never get a movie role. That's an example of things I would face, Or, oh my God, like you cannot do that 5-minute dancing role in a movie because no one will hire you as a lead. So there, and they're right. That was a stereotype at that time. That was a stigma. There were like rules in the industry that, oh yeah, she did that. No, we can't. Like, let's look at another girl for a lead. And you would fight your way through. And some people do give up. But I was so convinced that there was an evolution happening in the industry, and I wanted to be a part of that evolution. And I wanted to drive a lot of that evolution, whether it was ushering in new dance genres or even like new genres in music via the projects that I was a part of. So after doing so many reality show stints, and then I started doing music video appearances. Like you guys call it video vixens here, right? There we don't call it video vixen. It's just like a girl in a video dancing and looking great, And so I was like, I'll be that girl in the music videos, F it. Like, and I saw a new emergence of hip hop music in India and hip hop artists. Now suddenly it wasn't just about cricket players and Bollywood actors. Now it was about, Punjabi musicians and hip hop artists and rappers. It was a new emergence of that. And I just like threw myself in that new wave and became the video girl. And in that moment, I was like, all I ask for is I do kick-ass choreography. I get the most screen time, and, I get to like really present myself as a star. And nobody was really doing that. And a lot of the artists I was working with loved working with me. They're like, give her as much screen time as possible, present her in the best way. And that's how people started paying attention to me. And in 2017, I did a Punjabi song, okay? And I was a video girl. And that song did the first ever 5 million in one day on YouTube. That was at that time. And it was buzzing. They're like, who's this girl? The song was called Nah, okay? And everyone was like, who's the Nah girl? Who's the Nah girl? And labels started eyeing me. So the first label to eye me was T-Series. And that's like the biggest channel in the world after Mr. Beast and the biggest label in the world. Hands down, I think they're like such machines. And they're called
huge.
me.
They're
Yeah.
like over
they're
300 million
massive.
subscribers.
It's not even a joke. Yeah. Like say that number again.
Over 300 million subscribers.
It's insane.
Literally right after Mr. Beast. It's like Mr. Beast, them. So they reach out to you?
So they were just eyeing me at that time. I get to know after, but they were just eyeing me at that time. And there's me like doing a video. I mean, I did also like this other music video at the same time, who was like a really cool rapper at that time. And that was their first ever dance hall inspired music and choreo. So I was putting myself into an evolution, like I said, in dance and music. And I knew that was going to make me look different, and people were going to like notice me. And it wasn't like your quintessential Bollywood girl. So I was doing that, and at the same time I was doing whatever events came my way. Cut to, I did this event, which is like a pageant for Indian girls. Obviously I didn't run in the pageant. I was just a performer. And I did like a whole act. And then in the middle of the act, I did a solo impromptu moment, which was 30 seconds of just me. And it was belly dance. And people like went insane in the audience, and they were shooting with their phones, and people start uploading it. And I took that video and I uploaded it on my Instagram because I thought it was really cool, and it broke the internet. There were like millions of views of this one 30-second moment. And I always imagined when I was sitting in my room in India when I was hustling for those years, I always imagined, if I belly dance one time, it's going to shake up shit. I always imagined that. It's so crazy. And I'm like, I just need that moment. And that was the moment where everyone was like, who is this girl? And that's when T-Series called me officially. And they were like, I don't know what you did here, but whatever this is, we like it. And we need you to do this in a movie. And they had a movie. And in the movie, there was a song, like I told you, 5 minutes. And they were like, we want what you did to be done in this 5 minutes in the song. It's going to be your moment. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And I felt that this is going to be maybe my turning point. And I shot the song. I didn't get paid for it. I didn't really care even at that time about this. I was always just looking for opportunities. And sometimes I don't even discuss monies. I'm just like, all I want is creative liberty. If you can allow me to have creative say in choreo and in the aesthetic and the presentation and how I'm shot and the edit, I'm good. Don't even pay me. And that's kind of the trade-off I would have. And at first they were like, who's this crazy? She's like, she's no one to even be asking for this stuff.
Right.
But my conviction was so strong that they would just be like, okay. And I did that for that one song in that movie in 2018. It came out in July. I was in the airport in Paris. I just landed for another kind of project. And at immigration, I opened my phone because they released it when I was in the air. So I opened my phone and like, I kid you not, I was shaking because I saw the impact that song. Because what happens is before the movie comes out, they release the song on YouTube to market the movie.
Got it.
So that is the hype they get going with the audience so that they can go see the movie.
Got
So
it.
the song came out on YouTube and it was like every minute it was doing 1 million. It was
Every minute?
It felt like that because after 24 hours, it did 24 million.
Okay, wow. Yeah, on average, that's a million per hour. That's insane.
Yeah. And in the way it was going, I was like, my hands were shaking because I'm like, I don't know, something is happening.
Yeah.
And my heart was beating so fast. I was at immigration line. I was sweating. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm getting calls and messages and people are like, yo, like, I think this is it. You've made it. Because they've never seen numbers like that before. The
Yeah.
most was 5 million in a day, which was in
Yeah.
2017
Yeah.
with my song. So 24 million in one day was unheard of.
That's
and
huge.
the next day they announced it as the record. Like, this is a record-breaking number on YouTube.
So you were a performer in that video. You were a dancer.
Yes, I'm the face of that song. So I'm lip-syncing the song. I didn't sing it because in movies we have playback singers, but that is the face of this song. And then I have my background dancers and I'm performing, and you perform like really like an artist in these moments. So for me, that was my turning point. Despite it not being a lead acting role or, my own record, but it was a moment where the whole nation, because the song is called Dilbar, and the whole nation is like, this is the Dilbar girl.
Got it.
And people wanted to interview me, and people wanted to hire me for more songs, and they were like, she's a star. And when I came back to India, that's when I felt it, like the paparazzi and the media and the interviews and like, the label T-Series calling me back, and they're like, oh my God, like the world, like, this is insane. And it did cross over. It went out of India into the Middle East, and Middle East started discovering me, and North Africa started discovering me, Morocco started discovering me, and understanding that their girl is like in Bollywood, So there was this massive wave that happened, and honestly, there was no turning back since then.
I want to learn more about the ecosystem of how this all works. Very fascinating. I guess in films and music videos, it's similar. It's a similar concept where there's a performer, but then there's a playback singer, right? Is that the same for both? Or
Yeah. Yes, for the most part, if you're not like a hip hop artist or like a pop artist or a rapper in your own music video that you sing and produce, then you can be featured in a music video and lip sync a playback singer's voice. And the singer is not in the video.
Are they credited as a
Yeah, for sure, of course.
So it's
and
like
people
their
will
song.
Recognize who that is.
So it's like their song, but you're lip singing.
I'll give you an example. So, there's a big song of mine that came out called Dance Meri Rani, which means Dance My Queen. And it is an artist named Guru Randhawa. He's a famous Punjabi urban artist. He's very big. That's his song. And the featured girl vocally is not me. It's another girl. But in the video, I'm there and I lip sync her voice.
Okay, you lip sync in the featured girl. Got it.
But I'm the face of the song.
Yep.
So, but then I and that's normal. That's how the industry functions, and that's how actors are presented. And fans want to see actors in these moments. But I went on to simultaneously create my own lane in music because I'm like, well, I want to sing my own songs.
Yeah.
And I won't sing in Hindi, but I sing in English. So I'll produce my own videos as an independent artist, and I'll sing my own songs in English and feature in the movies, in the videos. So as I still do these playback where like there's a singer and I'm a face of them.
You still do it now?
I still do it, yeah. But for the most part, now people want me to put my verse in English or a hook in English, because now, as I was fighting years ago, they now understand that the audience is more open to diversity in music, whether it's in audio or in dance. So like the recent song I dropped called Tetema or Mama Tetema, I sing in English. We have a playback singer singing in Hindi, and the male artist sings in Swahili, which is huge for us in our industry to be able to diversify like that.
Right. Do people ever look at you a certain way because you're not Indian?
I don't know. I feel I give India and South Asians so much credit because, you know, they're so accepting and they're so welcoming of someone that's put in the work, someone that's representing them in the best way possible, someone that learns their culture and their language.
You learned it just for this.
I did, yeah. And honestly, Arrad, like on the way, I fell in love with it. So it wasn't just like, I got to do it for the bag, you know? It was really like, I actually love this shit. Like, this is insane. I love the history. I love the people. I love the hustle. And now that I move around and I travel the world and I work in different countries and I work with different people, I have a newfound respect for my industry and for the technicians, the lighting boys, the editors, the camera people, the choreographers, the dancers. Like, I'm heavy on, my brand revolves on respecting my dancers. And that's why I told you in our video, I have to give the dancers their credit and allow people to put a name to their face.
That's cool.
And that's what my fans love about my work, because it's heavy on respecting dance, talking about the importance of dancers and how they really are the backbone of our industry and we don't give them enough credit. And that comes from a lot of the not the backlash, but a lot of the pushback I got in the industry initially.
Right.
Oh, you're just a dancer. Oh, you just dance. Just do what you do best. Like,
Right.
why do you want to be a leading actress? Or why do you want to be a singer? Or why do you want to aim higher? And I got a lot of that when I was trying to go up. It was almost like, oh, you should just dance. Just give her to dance. Like, that's all. And it was hard to grow from that. And there's nothing wrong with being just a dancer. But if you're someone like me who's multifaceted and is ambitious and has a larger vision and goal, you don't want to be just one thing. And then I noticed, I'm like, oh man, I bet a lot of people go through this. So a lot of my branding has to do with uplifting dancers.
That's awesome. I mean, in the end of the video, you'll see like the dancers are credited. We show them freestyling and it's like a fun little vibe. It's cool. No artist I've worked with ever does that. And so a lot of the times the dancers are just either uncredited or they'll just tag them on Instagram. But like you go above and beyond to like give them a solo moment. That's cool.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me. Like, I may not know them personally, but I understand their stories and their journeys because I lived it, you know? And I'm not even a trained dancer. I taught myself. Like, I taught myself in the room, watching YouTube videos, and a lot of trial and errors, a lot of me like booking studios by myself and being in front of a mirror and just trying so hard to copy the things I would see, whether it's the swag or the body movements or the attitude. And, you know, I'd keep posting videos on social media all through 2014 to 2018. That's all I did. You'll only see videos of me. And I look back and I'm like, oh, I was terrible. I wasn't that great. But that was me really just trying to work with whatever I had.
It's part of your growth.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's not like you're going to be perfect from the jump. And we're talking about this, like you started 10 plus years ago now.
Yeah, it's 10
like,
years now, yeah.
You were just a whole different person when you started versus...
Oh, definitely. Like, I don't know how you got into direction, but was there any like schooling involved or like were you assisting? But a lot of people I know they just have it in them.
Yeah, for me, it was just being on set, experiencing it. I have a major in economics from UCLA.
Oh,
That's
wow.
my education.
Okay.
I'm literally a math kid. I was a math kid.
It's total opposite.
I was always doing film. I just did it basically because, you know, I'm Iranian, I'm Persian, Middle Eastern family. Like, gotta get the education. But my experience, like you, was on set, being on set, assisting people, doing like working with like these low budget crews. My story is like I came up working with different. I worked with You remember Odd Future? Tyler, the creator, his little crew. I did a lot of stuff with them early on. I did a lot of stuff with A$AP Rocky and his guys early on. I was like the kid with the camera filming their stuff. And so I'd go on sets. I'd go on other director sets. I'd be an assistant. And like, then I just built relationships from there. But it's the same thing. It's like, objectively, I was not a great filmmaker back then.
Yeah, if you look at that time versus now, you're going to be like, what
cringe.
was that?
I cringe at the stuff. I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do that? I mean, do you feel that way when you look back on your...
Don't get me started.
Do you watch your old stuff sometimes?
I do, just to remind me of where I've come from, because sometimes I could be hard on myself. And then I go back, I'm like, wait, hold on. You couldn't even like... Anyways, and I'm like, I'm good. Like, and that's what actually makes me want to push myself more. Sometimes when you reach the fame and the success and the opportunities and the numbers, you're talking to someone who's seen billions of views. Like, some of my videos have billions of views, you know. I have 47 million on Instagram.
I've seen it.
So it's easy to be like, yeah, we're good, you know? So just so that I don't do that, because that is really going to destroy me, I go back to see where I've come from and how cringe I was, so that I can, again, ignite that drive and that passion to want to learn more and elevate and increase my ability. So work with like newer choreographers and newer producers and test myself in the studio vocally and find my voice and go back to the dance studio and learn a new like dance style or push myself physically. So there's a lot of these things that I do, and I'm aware as an artist, if you achieve some fame, it's easy to get comfortable, and I never want to be comfortable.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned some very interesting points. First off, like you said, you have 47 million followers just on Instagram. You have had several videos that have had billions of views, right? You have a large fan base. You have people who love you, adore you, and you've really like dominated a market, right? Of like this insanely large group of people around the world. Like, what are you chasing now? You know, do you want more fame, or is it something deeper than that?
Yeah, it's definitely deeper than that. I think I always imagined I always go back to 2014, 2015, and 2016 when I was like in this one little room in India and Mumbai. You know, when you come by an agency, you're always in an apartment full of girls.
Oh, they put you together.
Yeah, they put you together, and these girls are like models who shuffle between 3 to 6 months, different countries. And then there was me, who was like, I'm not a model because I'm 5'6". I'm not tall enough. I will do a few ads here and there, but I know what my vision and goal is, so I'm trying to make it here. And these girls come and go, and I'm the one who remains.
And were you the only non-Indian?
No, everyone's non-Indian. These are international models, so girls from like Russia, Serbia, Mexico, Brazil, you know, different parts of the world. And I was the only one who remained every time, and I was in this one room. And in that one room, I always would be like, if I make it here, I will use it as like the platform to take off globally. I always saw a global picture. And why? Because I felt that there must be a reason why I was born in Toronto. There must be a reason why I'm so diverse and cosmopolitan. There must be a reason why I speak so many languages, and, you know, I understand different type of music and different type of dance, and like I resonate with, you know, the African community, but also the Middle Eastern community, but also, you know, the Indian community. There has to be a reason. There must be a connection here. It cannot be because I will be only a Bollywood actress, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great and an achievement, but I just it didn't make sense, you know. And there must be a reason why I'm learning Hindi also, and it's coming to me. And so when you see that you're not finding challenges per se, but the doors are opening, you ideally think of that being the beginning of something even greater. And for me, that was the global stage. It was my story. It was me like being able to reach different type of people around the world. And it could be one person in California, it could be one person in Tanzania, it could be one person in a village in Kazakhstan, or like Russia, or, you know, in a village in Nepal. I didn't know that, but I just knew that I will have a massive reach, and it could take me into music and the world of cinema across the board, but it could also take me into something even bigger. I don't know what that is right now, but it's gonna evolve to something beyond just music and dance and cinema, for sure.
It is.
100%. I know it.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. It has to. It just has to, because if you just logically think about it, look at my prototype. Like the fact that I have such a connection with people. Like when I do my stage performances, and this is just something I've analyzed. Like I've performed for the World Cup in Qatar. Like I was the main performer in the closing
Let's
ceremony.
go.
And at a time, thank you, at a
Sick.
time where I was still establishing myself. I haven't done this like groundbreaking thing in my career, but that door opened for me. Then I went on to do like my own headlining performance for FIFA Fan Fest in Qatar, which happened like right before the closing ceremony, and 70,000 people turned up for my performance, which was insane.
Major.
For Dubai Expo, which was a very big moment, I headlined my own show. 35,000 people showed up. I performed in Nepal recently. So many people showed up. Every time I do my own performance, even though I'm still an establishing singer, I'm still, I am doing the leading roles in Bollywood and the supporting roles in Bollywood and the dance numbers in Bollywood. I'm doing all that. But what I'm trying to say is that there has to be a reason why people are connecting with me, and kids connect with me a lot. Like I have this thing called #DanceWithNora, which I was telling you about earlier, which is something I created with me and my manager at that time, my Moroccan manager, who gave me this idea. He goes, you know what? All these songs are happening, all these movie songs are happening, and the one common denominator is your dance movement. Like all the moves you do in each song have become a hit. Everybody wants to do them. And Instagram and TikTok is flooded with these people dancing, trying to be like you. Turn it into a cult, turn it into a little community. So I created #DanceWithNora, and what I would do with that is, if a song is coming out from a movie, for example, I'd be like, oh, just for example, the Saki Saki is about to come out, the song from this movie Batla House, which I'm acting in, but the main attraction for me is going to be that song. The song is coming out. This is the hook step. When it releases, everyone sees the hook step. And I'm going to launch #DanceWithNora Dance Challenge. If you can do this hook step, make a video, do the #DanceWithNora, and I will share my favorite ones. People will flood me with videos on social media, everyone attempting it. A lot of people even showing off their own dance moves and their own choreo. And this became a big thing. And I'm like, okay, I didn't have an opportunity like that when I was coming up. I didn't really have anyone to shine a light on me. Let me shine a light on these people who actually uplifted me and made me who I am today. Because essentially, a lot of these directors and producers and labels didn't think I was going to be who I am today. No, they were just like, she can dance well. This is going to be great for our movie. Let's just take her. But it was the audience that really made me into a star. So essentially with #DanceWithNora may seem small, but I'm giving back to them because now I have this platform of 47 million followers. You're going to dance on my song with my hashtag. I'm going to post you on my page. And the world is going to see you. That could open up so many doors for you, which I wish like I had when I was growing up. So I started this hashtag, kept launching this challenge after every song drop. And then when I started going and doing my concerts, I would announce that, hey, for example, I'm going to Qatar and I'm going to launch #DanceWithNora in Qatar. The best videos coming out of Doha, I would choose the winner to join me on stage. So they will have a moment to shine on stage with me. And we would do that for every city that I would perform in. And I kid you not, Arrad, and this is something I'm so proud of. These girls or boys that come up on stage, they go on to do great things. Like, for example, I was performing as one of the headliners for something that we have called IFA, which is the Indian Film Academy, International Indian Film Academy. And every year we have a big award ceremony in a different part of the world. Actually, they had it once in America. They had it once in Toronto. And that year they had it in Abu Dhabi. So I was performing, and IFA was one of the things on my bucket list. I'm like, if I made it, I know I made it if I performed for IFA, So it's something I really was vying for. And when I was selected to perform, I launched the #DanceWithNora in Abu Dhabi. And I'm like, one of the best performers will join me on stage. And we selected the performer. In the middle of my act, we call her up on stage. She was about like 7 years old, okay? 7 years old, but a spirit of a 20-year-old. The way she moved on that stage, she shocked the whole
No
stadium, the
way.
whole arena. Shocked me. I was like, oh my God, she ate. And she got so much attention that she went on to like build an influencer career, and her mom was pushing her, to kind of like go into movies. And someone saw her perform and gave her a role in a series on Amazon. So, and she went on to do interviews and say that hashtag Dance with Nora gave her an opportunity. So this is an example of, my connection with people in the audience. So that's why I go back to saying eventually, if this crossover works out for me, I think this is going to go on to be something greater than just what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. There's this common theme about you, and the one of them is giving back. You like to show love to your dancers. You like to show love to people who support you or people who do
Oh,
your
yeah.
dances, right? But there's also a theme of like being an underdog. You felt like when you were coming up, you didn't have these opportunities,
Yeah.
and you felt like people were kind of, I don't know. You felt, I don't know if the word is restricted, but something was, I don't know.
restricted and undermined and like
Undermined is a great word.
Yeah. Oh,
Undermined.
for sure. Like that would probably describe my hustle, or those days. I really always felt like people like just like kind of like, oh yeah, she's just this, or
Yeah.
she's just that. And I guess a lot of artists who are hustling or trying to make a name for themselves would know how that feels. Because like, it's an aggressive industry. It's an aggressive world. I put myself in that world. It's very challenging. And you'll never expect someone to see what you're worth unless you prove it,
Can you give me an example of something that happened that made you feel extremely undermined? Something that made you feel like you were up against the odds compared to other people?
Oh, like always, like just the auditions that I would go to, the different casting directors I would meet, they were always like one in particular. Oh, like sorry, I don't even want to say who that person is, but that person like really like just did not see it for me, and she was very vocal about it.
She said like, I don't like you, or?
Yeah, like your type, like you foreigners come in here and think this and think that, and it's like, and I can really work a room like that, and I can really navigate. But when you go home and you dissect what just happened, it really can it makes things very difficult for you. You feel shitty,
Yeah, mentally, I can't imagine
For
what that
sure,
does to you.
it was hard, and you look and then you're talking to people who are a part of the industry in a massive way.
Right,
They've
right.
casted for the biggest films and worked with the biggest actors, and they're telling you this, so it's been hard. And on top of that, even like when I did make it in 2018, it didn't make things easier for me because I had a bigger vision for myself. I wanted to act. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to be not just that girl that, the Dilbar girl in 2018, 15 Minutes of Fame and disappeared. I was really pushing to solidify myself in pop culture. So from 2018 to 2020, before the pandemic came and stopped everything, it was the moment that I was running against time. I had to solidify myself in pop culture and within the masses for me to be able to stamp myself and be like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Why did you give yourself 2 years though? Like,
No, I didn't. It just
Oh.
ended up being 2 years because the pandemic came.
Got it.
Do you know what I mean?
I see what
But
you're saying.
in hindsight, now that I look, thank God I gave myself 2 years, because if I thought this was, oh, yay, I'm famous, I got 1 billion views, yay. I'm the Dilbar girl. 2020 would have hit, pandemic would have came, 2 years pandemic, people would have forgotten.
Right.
See? So those 2 years where I was really hustling to solidify myself in industry, thank God I did that. I ended up doing a movie. I was a supporting role. I did another movie, another supporting role. Then I, did 2, 3 other song moments in movies that were explosive. They shook the industry. They shook the country. And they really solidified me as a proper artist in the industry. And then in 2019, I started my own singing career. I did my first English Afro track and put it on my YouTube channel as an independent artist. Then people were like, oh, okay, she doesn't just dance. She isn't just a video girl. She's singing now, and it's in English, and she's financing her own music videos. She's serious, Then I started acting in the movies, and people were hearing me speak in Hindi, so they were like, okay, 1 second. She's not just a foreigner. So there are a lot of stereotypes I had to break one by one and quickly in order to solidify myself.
There's a thing called being pigeonholed.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're pigeonholed, it's like you do something and people see you as a certain way. For example, I think in the beginning of my career, people pigeonholed me as being like the rap director. Oh, he only
Oh,
does male rap videos. And then later on, I started working with a lot of females. And then I kind of became like the female pop director. I kind of
okay.
became pigeonholed in that. So like they see you as a certain thing. And then
Yes.
they perceive you and they see you as a certain thing. And as a result, you only get opportunities as how other people see you.
Yeah.
But part of it is also how you see yourself.
True.
So for me, I knew I was beyond those things. I'm like, I'm not just a rap director. I'm not just a pop director. I'm not just a music video director. I'm a filmmaker, right?
Yes.
So I had to go out and create my own projects. I had to invest in myself.
That's what I did. Oh my
And
God,
that's exactly what
yeah.
you did. So there's a parallel here. You said, I don't want to just be a video vixen. I don't just want to be, like a face on screen. I want to also be the voice. I want to be, arguably you wanted to be the star, right?
Yes.
And so what's so cool to me is like you basically had like a vision, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you had a multi-step plan where every opportunity you got, use that opportunity to leverage the next
To open
opportunity,
another door, yeah.
and then found some success, made some money, and you
Yes.
took that platform that you built and you used it to fuel
Yes.
this next chapter of your career, which then led to your music career and all those things, right? Am I right on
Yeah, for
this?
sure. Yeah, 100%. And the crazy thing is, I started actually seeing money in 2018 for the first time. Before that, I was so broke. Like, it was insane how poor I was.
Really?
Yeah, like, it was so bad that I was like, I think I'm going to go back to Canada.
You said you grew up in the hood in
Yeah,
Toronto. So did you
yeah.
kind of grow up with little money?
Yeah, we didn't have money at all. Like my dad is a professional chef and he was constantly working, but we really never seen money. My mom was a housewife for a bit. She started working after some time, but like, you just work to make ends meet. And I
Yeah.
think you guys kind of know how it is here. It's kind of the same. You work to pay your bills and then you pay your taxes and nobody knows where that goes. And then it's just a vicious cycle. You know what I mean? That's just how our life was. And then I went on to be alone from the age of 16. So I worked from the age of 16 and life was like just me making ends meet every time. I never was financially stable. And then when I was in India, it was even harder because I went in there as an international model via an agency and they don't give you your money. Like they give you pocket money every week, which is like $50 roughly. And you got to buy food, groceries, personal hygiene stuff, and transportation to go to auditions or whatever. And that's it. And when you do book jobs, they never give you your money, really.
Why?
They just, because they're like, oh, when you go back to your country, we'll send it to you in 90 days.
And they just never do?
Well, I don't know because with me, I had a different dynamic. I fought with my agency and then because I wanted to leave them and because I just didn't think they were doing it for me. And then whatever money I did make, they didn't give it to me.
I see. So there was like a little
they're
bit
like, okay,
of
but you want to leave? Like, you leave poor,
Oh.
So, and I was so stubborn and egotistic at that time because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I have a bigger vision for my life, so you keep that money. I'll make
Right.
it somewhere else. So I was always struggling financially. And in 2016, 2017, it was like the worst time for me financially. Like, I remember, oh my God, I remember there was a time where I couldn't even pay rent or even buy groceries. And my agency just called me and they're like, oh, there's an opportunity to do Big Brother as a wild card entry. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, well, beggars can't be choosers. So
Right.
yes. So I ended up doing that show because financially it was really effed,
Right.
So I started seeing some money in 2018. And Arrad, I kid you not, when I started seeing money, because I was doing a lot of live shows, I looked at that money and I'm like, what do I want to do with this? And I put it into the first ever music video as a singer for me.
Really?
And I produced my own music video. And
That's gangster.
never really saw it. I just put it straight into that
You
because I'm
invested
like,
in yourself.
that's it. I invested in myself. The best thing I ever did. Because when I invested into that song, it was actually the Arabic version of Dilbar. So I took Dilbar, which made me, okay, and I asked the label, can I make an Arabic version of this? And they're like, we'll
No.
give you permission. Obviously, I won't make any money, like no royalties, nothing. But I can solidify myself as the beginning of something new and open a new market. I contacted who is now my Moroccan manager, but at that time he wasn't. I contacted him in Morocco, met him. He was managing one of the biggest boy bands there. And I was like, if I bring you the Arabic version of this popping song right now, it's the hottest thing right now in India. Can we make it Arabic and can your boy band feature with me? And I know I'm a new singer. I've never stepped in a studio before. I don't even know if I can sing, but like, I'll wing it.
And you had a name.
I had a name. That's why they said, yeah. So he was like, okay. They took me to a studio, practiced, worked with the guy. His name is Mohsin. He's the head of, like, he's one of the boys of Fnair. And Fnair is the biggest boy band in Morocco. And they worked with me. They created it into an Arabic version. They wrote the lyrics, pushed me in the studio, found my voice, recorded. I flew them to India and we shot the video in India. That was my first ever like venture. We released the song. I opened a new market. Now, why I think that's the best investment I ever made for myself, which was also the scariest investment at that time as a girl, like alone and doing that, it's because it opened the door in a new market. It got eyeballs. People then started saying, okay, this girl is singing now. Okay. It gave me confidence to again take some more money of mine that I was making and put it into my second project as a singer. And that was an English song called Pipita, which I did with a Tanzanian artist named Rayvani.
Mm-hmm.
Produced it, shot it in Thailand, put it in my YouTube channel. It blew up.
Wow.
I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Wow.
One video after another. And that's what allowed like the World Cup to happen for me because they saw me as a singer. They didn't see me as a Bollywood actor and a girl in music videos. They saw me as someone who can sing. So they're like, all right, call her, let her sing one of the anthems with the girls called Light the Sky, which Red One had produced.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in the studio, I recorded. Had I not invested in myself as a singer, I don't think that would have happened because they would have just saw me as an actor or a Bollywood star or, you know, Bollywood like movie video girl. Recorded that anthem. Boom, boom, boom. Did the video. Long story short, realized I'm in a stadium performing for the closing ceremony for the biggest game. It was the last game, Argentina and France. So I looked back and I thought, wow, really like I gambled on myself. Nobody did that for me. But then in the end of the day, Arrad, like going back to what you're saying, you invested in yourself. I went and invested in myself. But that's how it should be. You cannot expect other people to do that. You really can't, you know? You got to do it yourself.
We were talking about this too. Like you're with a US label now.
Yeah.
And this will be your first US release?
This will be my first US release. Like the song called Snake, which Tommy Brown produced and Warner released. It was like between like Warner Middle East and it's like kind of crossing over here. What's happening? So there was a little bit of that happening and it just ended up being an international like release. But this will be my first Warner record song, music video releasing here with Shenseea. Yeah.
So we were talking about like the fact that it's similar to even what you did in the beginning. You're still investing in yourself.
Yes.
You're still investing in anything from Google Ads to influencer outreach.
Yeah, for sure. I would nonstop like whatever it is, whether it's like investing money, but even investing time. Like if you call me, you're like, hey, can you fly back to LA? There's some influencers I want you to shoot with. It will help my song. I will be on a flight immediately. I will not be like, oh, is the label paying for my flight? Like, who got my flight?
That's like, you are one of the few artists who will do that.
But that's the only reason why I'm here today, because of that energy. I had that even in 2014, you know what I mean? And I promised myself that no matter how big I get or how big the opportunities get, I will not change that energy. I will keep that energy because it's too competitive. There are too many people who are trying to get into your space. Too many people are trying to make it. And too many people who are even more talented than you. So like, how am I going to be different from anybody else? And I realize it's that energy. That's the common denominator.
Yeah, you're right. It's like, it's one thing to be more talented, but if you're talented and you don't have the hustle or the ambition, nobody's ever gonna see your talent.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when I I mean, the same thing I did with Bollywood when I sat in that little room for those couple of years, and I sat and I analyzed the industry, and I dissected it and I studied it, and I realized like why this person didn't work, why this person worked and didn't work for too long, and I looked at all these things. I do the same thing with this industry. I look at like who's popping, who's not popping, who was popping for a few years and then fell off, who, is doing really, really good and has longevity. And I can make the comparisons. And I think the conclusion is the ones that have artist development and work ethic and the passion are the ones that last.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who don't are the ones who fade after a year.
Rest in peace to artist development. Rest in peace.
Yeah, this is a big talking point. And I think soon labels are going to go back to investing in artist
They
development.
need to.
They will. I think they will have to. They have no choice.
There's a thing in America right now where record labels some of them are struggling. A lot of one of the biggest reasons is because they can't break artists because they sign an artist who has a little bit of momentum. Momentum is either you have like a big song on TikTok that blew up on social media as part of a trend. That could be a form of momentum. Another form of momentum is you actually have a niche fan base. You have like a diehard audience, right? The second one generally sticks longer as an artist. But right now, from what I've been seeing, what I've been observing from all the people in the industry that I'm talking to, they're generally chasing the ones who have the quick rapid fire because they sign them off one hit. They sign them, they put a little money, they hope they get another. If they don't, they shelve the artist. You literally go on a shelf.
I know that, yeah.
Right? And it's like a big thing. That's why you hear a song and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this song. And then you're like, wait, what happened to that artist?
Yes, yeah. So I think because I already know that and I kind of already envisioned that could be the case for all of us, that's why I keep the same energy.
You have to.
The whole like, okay, you're here, we have this opportunity. You're going to do what you're saying you're going to do, but I'm also going to do me. Because, and I think all the artists who are upcoming or even the artists who have broken off and they're having their moment, my advice to them would be, you should be taking care of yourself also in terms of investing still in yourself, in your marketing, venturing out for opportunities to push yourself further or your project further beyond what your management and the label is doing.
Yeah. What do you think is the key for an artist to have longevity? Where should they be investing if they want to have a long career?
In marketing.
Like marketing budgets and
100% in social media. Of course, social media push, marketing, getting yourself out there, growing your audience. So for example, like I invested in opening markets. I didn't just invest in singing or a music video. I invested strategically. I did my first song in Arabic. So I thought of it as like a globe. So India is right here and the Middle East is right here and America is right here. So when I invested in myself the first time, it was to open up a new market right here, the Middle East. So now I've captured these two worlds. Now I have this world that I'm eyeing.
America,
the West, which is like home for me. But I'm kind of like doing a homecoming, coming back. Hey, I'm back. It's me, How you doing? Right. So to do that, I have to invest into this market. So I feel like every artist needs to have a vision. They have to understand the world better. They have to understand who their target audience is. And if they've captured their target audience, are they trying to grow that target audience to another fan base or another market? And essentially it depends. Some people don't want to go global. Some people just want to be like where they are and they're happy with their audience. But even within that audience, they have to do research and understand what that audience likes and how to capture their attention every time. So unlike back in the day where if you disappear for a while and then come back, it makes the audience hungry for you and they buy for you even more. Now I feel like you have to be in their face all the time for them to even care about you. So then you have to think about what is that thing they're going to care about. Am I just in their face or am I in their face with substance? So what that substance is. So there's a lot of like sitting in your room alone and dissecting things and doing research. That a lot of that is really important.
Right. Yeah. That's you always have to be doing your homework, essentially.
Yeah.
And learning about, I guess also learning about what you want to do next.
Yeah. And then being okay to understand the criticism that comes from your fan base, right? So sometimes some of the criticism doesn't even come from your fan base. Sometimes it comes from haters, right? And that could really help, if you're ready to to take it in without hurting, your own feelings. And that requires thick skin. Sometimes, like in the journey of mine in the last, I would say from 2018 till now, and why I use 2018 as the benchmark, because that's when I popped off. But obviously, I started my journey 10 years ago, but I popped off in 2018. So from 2018 till now, I always like to read certain feedbacks that come from like people. And sometimes they're haters, but it's interesting. Like, oh, she does the same move all the time. She's always doing the same dance. This is boring. So it's like, all right, cool. I know I'm not doing the same dance move all the time. That's impossible. And I'm not doing the same genre every time. But I use that as fuel to learn a new genre. I use that as fuel to go to the next choreographer for the next project and be like, okay, do you see this? So we need to fix this. So make sure you don't repeat any moves that I did in my previous project. Make sure you introduce a new style or a new vibe. So I take that criticism and I try to, use it as like a Lego building block. So some artists, they don't want to hear criticism and they get offended and they get defensive. And I think it's important for us to take that and try to elevate our artistry.
Yeah, I love that. That's all good things I think artists need to take note of, and not have an ego.
I think
most importantly.
that's pretty much it. I think you just like hit it. You hit the nail on the head. It's ego. I think a lot of the times ego is what brings the artist down. And they could be so talented and they could have all the opportunities. The doors are opening left, right, and center and the people want them. And then their ego really like digs their own grave. And I think I'm glad I learned that early on to put my ego and pride aside. I have pride, I have self-dignity and everything. I love myself. But ego for me, I always remind myself, it's not important right now. I don't need to prove to anyone in the room right now that I have an ego. Just park it aside and get your shit done.
Going back to the collaborations you've had with artists like Jason Derulo or even Shenseea on this new song, when you approach a Western artist, when you approach a popular artist that's not from South Asia, like what's your pitch to them?
I think automatically when they see my profile, they already want to give me some attention and they want to hear me out. And I think that's first key. It's number one. The name has to come with a value and some sort of respect. And I think a lot of them would ask people like, hey, do you know who this Nora chick is? And usually there's a South Asian person around because thankfully there are South Asians everywhere in the world. Yeah. So there'll always be like a South Asian around, like, oh my God, yeah, it's Nora. Or a Moroccan person if they're around. You know what I mean?
I have to show you something so funny. I know this is off topic, but look what Nasser sent, our editor for the video.
Oh, yeah.
It's a conversation with his dad.
With Baba? He sent me picture Moroccan singer. Farah wants to know, she thinks she knows her. It's me, basically, Snake. Nora Fatehi, yes, she know her. So this is pretty much the kind of things that would happen. It's like the third person knows me or the second person knows me. So it like hypes up the artist a little bit. And the artist's like, all right, cool, let me do some research on her. That is so cute.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That is so cute.
He said Farah is his cousin who lives in Tangier.
Tangier, yeah, that's a place in Morocco, Tangier, yeah.
On the dad's side, so yeah, they recognize.
It's just fun. I love that, and Nasser is our editor for our song. Amazing guy. So yeah, so that usually what happens, and then the artist will do some little research, and then they'll hear me out. And usually my pitch is, look, you got a great market. It's the West. I got a fantastic market. It's the East, okay? And it's not just one, it's multiple markets together. It's India, it's Pakistan, it's Bangladesh, it's Sri Lanka, it's Nepal, it's Morocco, it's the Middle East, it's the UAE, it's all these places. It's all of North Africa and now parts of Africa because I'm very much into the Afro scene. So let's bring these two worlds together, and I always let them know that the world is bigger than the US and Canada. You know what I mean? Like, I give them examples of K-pop. I give them examples of Afro. And I'm like, let me bring what I'm good at and what you're good at, and let's make a huge project. And I always tell them that my brand is heavy on visuals. So the music video will always be cinematic. The music video will always be heavy on dance. So I can bring that to the table. And then, you bring what you bring to the table and help me open up different doors. So it's always a give and take. So it's not like me, hey, help me, I want to cross over. I definitely would love to cross over, and that's my goal. But obviously, you're going to gain a lot. Like the South Asian community is nothing to play with.
Right.
You know, we stream, we watch YouTube videos, we add numbers, and we're loyal fans.
Right.
So, and they get it. They understand that.
Yeah, that's a big opportunity.
Yeah, and Moroccans also, don't get it twisted. Like Moroccans, when they love you, they will, like, I always use this example, but whenever there's like a Moroccan in a reality show, like a singing competition or like Arab Got Talent or The Voice or something like that, Moroccans will go heavy. Even if they have like the last $10 in their pocket, they will top up that 4G or 3G or whatever that is, and they will vote till the cows come home. Like we go heavy for people that represent us. So, you know, it's a great world to tap into, and it's really an advantage for other artists for sure.
Yeah.
And my work ethic, like, you know, I guarantee exactly what I tell them. Like when I spoke with Jason, I guaranteed him a cinematic music video, and I guaranteed him intense marketing. And I guaranteed I'd bring him to India and promote him there and all of that and give him that experience. And I gave that. So I am like a woman of my word. So a lot of the artists really like that.
And that video has what, like over 100 million views or something?
It's like 138 million or something like that on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Well, your promise, you kept your promise. You kept your word. It like is a smash. I mean, to even have 100 million views on a video, that's insane.
It is, especially like it's not on a T-Series or like a Warner channel or a Sony channel. It's on my own channel, my own YouTube channel.
Insane. Like people see that number, it's so unfathomable. That's so many people.
It is. And it's still ongoing. And even with our song, Just a Girl, What Do I Know? And the reason why I say both of them is because like we're literally like in between these two names. But, you know, I think the song is called Just a Girl. But anyways, it's the same thing. Like the way we're pushing it, we have like influencers all dancing to it. The dance community is heavy on it. The girls are heavy on it. And it's just going to keep on going. I'm not letting this go. I'm going to keep pushing this because this project means the world to me.
Yeah. This is exciting. This is super exciting for you. I think we're in an interesting time because the international market is like becoming the new hot thing. Like even in America, like America consumes K-pop heavily.
Yes.
America consumes Latin music.
Yes.
You know, like we were talking about Shakira, someone who has so much longevity, and you were saying she has a massive audience, not just globally, but in the US.
Yes.
It's true. And I think for you, it's like opportune to cross over. And because you're still kind of Western, like you're not, like
I know,
so
it's such a mindfuck.
crazy.
I already know that. I know, because sometimes I'm talking and I'm like, wait 1 second. Why am I talking like I'm from like, you know, I'm born and raised in China and I'm like, or Korea and I'm coming to America. Like I was born and raised like upstairs.
Yeah.
Literally, and I left. But it does feel like homecoming too.
Yeah.
But it also feels confusing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. There's another interesting thing that I want to explore. And again, this goes back to a conversation you and I had. And it's about the marketability of an artist. More importantly, what makes an artist memorable and what makes them have fans, right? So my theory, and this is something I actually heard, I think it was like on an interview like last year or something. There's a guy talking about how the best artists are, or the most memorable artists with the most like the best fan bases are the ones who can be dressed up as for Halloween, right? So you have like Billie Eilish with the baggy pants or the baggy clothes, or you have Ariana Grande with the ponytail, or you have Post Malone with the tattoos and the outfits, whatever, right? Each of these artists has like something that makes them marketable and memorable, right? For someone like you, immediately I think, okay, dance. I think you have like cultural ambiguity, right?
Yes.
But I'm wondering, like, is there something for Nora? Have you discovered what that could be that could give you your Halloween costume, you know?
Like I have just a very like average, like same hair, side parting, and the same makeup, very natural and like pinky and stuff. Nothing like too crazy. So then I was like, so what could make me stand out and have the fans kind of just stick to me? And I always thought it's the different looks I do in my music videos. So in every video, there's always going to be that standout, out of the box look. Whether it's like a short wig with like a bang and like specific type of makeup, or, you know, blonde with like curls, or blonde and super long, or just very different than your quintessential Bollywood aesthetic.
Right.
So this kind of aesthetic is what, like, you know, it's normal in Bollywood and it's the thing. But how do I break out of that? I do that in my music videos.
I want to say it reminds me of like what Lady Gaga would do, but it's like
Yeah, that's where I go a little crazy in my own crazy.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Relative to your market.
Yes, relative to my market and what is like acceptable aesthetically. And that's my moment where I could do it. But of course, dance is how I was able to kind of, through my hook steps, through certain choreo that I do in different songs. So if anyone like would bring my name up, they will remember that one move I did in one song and they're like, oh yeah, the Saki step or the Dilbar step or the Garmi step or, you know, the Oh Mama Tete Ma hook step, you know. So this is how they remember me. They attach me to certain dance movements, which is great. Like I love that. I think it's so cool. And in any of my stage shows, I could call up anyone from the audience and bring them on stage impromptu, and I know they're going to do exactly that step. And that's the beauty of my connection with my audience. But besides that, I think what makes a star, and this is just my opinion, is like the ability of, are you aspirational? That is really what makes you a star. Do the women aspire to be like you? Do the men aspire to be with you? And do the kids aspire to become you? I think this is why someone becomes a star, whether it's in music or in cinema, or even like as a reality star. That's the epitome, like that's the example of stardom for me.
Wow, say that again. Do the men aspire to be
like,
with you?
Do the women aspire to be like you? Do the men aspire to be with you? And do the kids aspire to become you?
Oh, that's
Even
awesome.
if like I'm a girl and a boy sees me, I'm not saying he aspires to be me as a girl, but aspires to either achieve success like me or achieve the drive like me or achieve the passion like me. It has to be something that makes you an example or on a vision board.
Right. Even a great example is like with these kids who are recreating your music video sets.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like when I launch #Dance with Nora for any of my songs, there will always be, you know, a couple of my fans who will invest in creating a set similar to what they saw in the video.
Who's the one that we just saw?
The one that you saw, this girl, oh my gosh, she's so good. I recently did a performance in Nepal.
Yeah.
And I called her up on stage and we had a dance moment, and I've
Sick.
always wanted to do that. Her name is Sushma Karki. And she does it for a lot of artists, you know, but I noticed her because she does it for a lot of my songs, and she will literally do the same outfit, the same hair, the same makeup, the same set, and then the same choreo. And she'll also show you the BTS of how she did it. So do you understand? Like
that's
it's
so insane.
so amazing, and I love that. And there are so many artists like her who I share, who also will do the same hair and makeup in the same look as mine, and they will tag me and I will share them, and then they'll do the same choreo. So they put a lot of effort, and that's how you know that artistry is no joke for them. It's not just hair and makeup and a costume and a dance.
Right.
They get it, and they know the value of that. So that's why I always think of, is this aspirational? Even when I talk in an interview, I'm always like, am I talking about things that are aspirational, that will hit, that will make people think? Is my tone and manner of speaking? So it's presenting yourself as an artist overall that you have to move aspirational, period.
For sure. I want to kind of shift over to like the film stuff that you're doing a little bit, because I think it's, again, kind of interesting how you're seeing Bollywood, not just Bollywood, it's also, what are the other genres, like Telugu?
Yeah, you have Tollywood, you have Bollywood, then you have like the Punjabi industry, and in Tollywood you have Telugu, and then you have Tamil, and then you have Kannada, so there's like different languages.
You've done all those?
Yeah, so I've done all of them as someone who comes in for the song.
Got it, okay.
Now I've started acting, like I'm doing a Tamil film right now as a lead, which is like a horror comedy called Kanchana 4.
Right.
And it's a franchisee film. There was like 1, 2, 3, now this is 4.
Wow. And you have to learn the language?
Oh my God, don't get me started. It's probably the hardest language ever.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. Like kudos for anyone who can speak Tamil. It's so hard, and I'm not able to learn it, but what I'm able to do is when they give me the lines, I'm able to learn the lines and understand what it means, and then practice and enunciate and do the diction properly, and then act it out and evoke the right emotion.
How do you get the accent down?
Well, I'm going to get dubbed. like they're gonna bring a dubbing artist for sure. Like there is no way. Oh my God, there is no way. But the emotion, the diction, the phonetics, everything is there. The expression is there. I'm saying it, but like I will get dubbed. But for me, that's normal in the industry, especially in South. It's very normal to get dubbed. Like even like Indian girls get dubbed when they do, like most of them will do Tamil or Telugu because it's a different language, you know?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so they'll cast you because they want a certain look or your profile or whatever it is. But I've done a Telugu film, you know, last year one released, and previously I was just doing like dance moments. But for me to go from doing dance moments to elevating into lead roles is a big journey, and it's a great story to tell because usually they don't do that. There's a stereotype that I managed to break. What's really cool about my journey as an actor right now is, you know, I'm doing comedy, which is something I really enjoy. I did a really, really cool comedy film that released last year called Madgaon Express. And I was I was the only girl, I was one of the leads amongst, you know, three amazing male actors. And that was a breakthrough for me. It was like critically acclaimed and it was a success at the box office and people really loved it. And that introduced me into a different like lane of acting and people taking me seriously as an actor. And I did an Amazon film with a brilliant actor and star named Abhishek Bachchan, who comes from, you know, a legacy of one of our icons called Amitabh Bachchan, who is someone that almost like the whole world who knows Bollywood knows who he is. So I did a movie with him, and that was a beautiful family film about a girl who, you know, is dying to dance. And I play a dance teacher and I push her into her dream and kind of convert her dad from like someone who never took it seriously to someone who's now dying to, you know, support his daughter in her dreams. So that was a very beautiful film to be a part of, also a Bollywood film. And, you know, now I'm doing things like I just did a Netflix show called The Royals, which popped off and was number 6 in America, by the way, and doing crazy numbers. And I played like this Indian princess named Aisha Dhoni, who was like I loved it. You know, it was my moment to be a little spicy on screen. So I'm really getting the chance to do what I've always wanted to do like 10 years ago, which is actually the funny thing. The reason why I went to India was to act, you know, and then I just, like I said, from the back door, started bringing dance and music and everything. And now I enjoy being this artist who's able to dabble in all three. And, you know, sometimes people say like focus on one thing, but I just see me as being able to do all three. And if I never went into music and dance, I wouldn't be able to do these live shows that I do on stage and interact with hundreds of thousands of people and connect with them. And that's why I think it's going to be something bigger.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I just know, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to say it exactly, but I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. Your experience is compounded. And even like with a show, like your role in The Royals, for example, there was dance, there was movement.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have performed that role without having all this experience.
Yes. Oh my God, you're right. So it always all comes down to, in the end, like, oh yeah, now I see why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know, so.
You know, that's very important. Like there's some times I'm like, why am I doing this shoot? Why am I here?
Yeah. I hear you.
You know?
I hear you.
And then like I'll do it and then nothing will transpire from it. But then like 2 years later, someone will hit me up and they're like, by the way, I really like what you do with that video. I'm like, really? Like you saw that video from like how long ago? And that happened actually during it was like during the pandemic. It was like a video I did like 2 years prior. And I had a bunch of artists DM me directly in like the same week. And it was like dope artists.
Okay.
And they all just happened to see the same video from 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm like, why are you all seeing this right now?
Oh, the algorithm is a funny thing.
It's crazy.
You just never know. And sometimes I am in that situation where I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, oh, I don't want to be doing this right now, you know?
Yeah.
But trust and believe that will open another door eventually.
There's a saying my friend says, he's like a yoga master. And he says, everything is always working out for you.
Yeah.
So like, no matter where life takes you, it's happening for you. Don't try to resist it. Don't try to like push back too much. It's like, this is your path.
Interesting.
I'm trying to live by that a little more.
I have a question for you. So knowing that you're from Iran and like your family is Middle Eastern, and they're immigrants, obviously. So when you said you wanted to do this, like direct, to be in the music industry, what did they say? Don't lie.
My parents were supportive. Like, okay,
Okay, nice.
my mom and dad. Let me show you something. You're gonna love this. In 6th grade, they
Did
did
you draw
like
this?
no. So
Oh,
we had
okay.
an artist come, and they asked everybody, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I was in 6th grade.
You said
And I said, "I want to be a
director.
director." And my parents still have this in my room at their house, and so they always knew since I was a kid. They knew like, you
So
know,
they saw it coming.
I planted the seed very early.
Okay,
I
good for
planted the seed
you.
young. But the thing is, here's the thing. Like, as I got older, I think nobody in my family has this background. So they didn't know how you could make a living out of it, you know? It's easy for them because with Middle Eastern families or even North African, whatever, we all see like
Yeah, brown families are
brown
all the same.
families,
Yeah.
we all see, okay, there's a path for medicine, there's a path for law, there's a path for engineering.
Yes.
We don't with entertainment, there's no path. You don't go to like film school is not like med school. With med school, you're guaranteed a path. You do your years in med school, then you have your rotations and your residency, you pass these exams, and then you have a path to being a
Yes,
doctor.
it's very clear.
It's clear. My parents didn't understand what that path was, and I didn't either. I just saw people that I liked. I'm like, I like that work, that person's work. I like that person's work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something like that. So, long story short, to answer your question, they were supportive, but they were unsure about it. And I remember when I was like an adult, like telling them I studied economics. I got my degree, but I'm like, Mom, I really want to be a director still. And she told me, look, it's not gonna be easy. We support you, but be prepared for the bumpy ride, you know?
Mhm.
And I was lucky. Like, I have friends who wanted to do this stuff and they couldn't because their Iranian parents were strict about it.
Yeah,
You know,
I know
so
that, yeah.
but that's my story. What about you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my parents are so conservative. They
Really?
were so my mom is still okay now, but they were of course, because, like, that's why I'm like, don't lie, because, sometimes people are like, "Yeah, my parents are so supportive," and it's like, no, we know the truth. Like, immigrant families, they do come from a different background, and it's unheard of, it's new, you're gonna be the first one in your whole entire generation of generations to even do something like this. So it's very foreign. Of course, they're gonna be like, no, And with me, it
They
was
said no
almost
to you?
like, no. The thing is, it's like, I don't even want to say they said no because I never asked. Like, I swear,
I mean, you don't have to ask if you're an adult at that point.
no, but the thing is, I mean, like, in our culture, even if you're an adult, you ask.
It's
You know what I mean?
true.
It's none of that shit. You still ask,
That's
But I
true.
think with me, it's just like God threw me in a world where they just weren't around with me. It was a time where my mom was living in Saudi with her husband. I was with my dad, but he also disappeared.
So your parents
So,
were split?
like, yeah, they split. They split when I was 11.
Got it.
So I was already in an environment where it's just me and my little brother.
Mm.
So there was really nobody to ask. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So when I did pack my bags and I went to India, I told my mom when I was in India.
Yeah. Oh, you were already
Yeah,
there?
I was already there. So do you know what I mean? Had it been different, and I think at that time, like, obviously the circumstance broke me at that time, but when I think about it, God put me in that circumstance for me to be able to go for my calling. Because had my mom and dad been together, had we been in one house, had I been with them, I don't even think I would have been able to. Like, oh, no way.
Really?
No, of course not, because they would have not allowed me to leave.
So they're
It would have
strict?
been yeah, I mean, like, to a certain extent, like, you're going to go to India? Think about it.
It is kind of crazy.
Think about it. It's like, even if they're not strict, even if they were borderline open-minded, the idea of a girl leaving Canada, a developed country, to go to a developing country, even though for me, I'm so open-minded, I don't care. Like, I'm going to a developing country, is going to become developed eventually. That's how my mind is.
Right.
But, like, for parents who are immigrants who fought to leave a developing country to go to a first world country, it's like crazy. I can only imagine what my mom's conversation with my dad, had they been together, would be in a bedroom. Like, we didn't leave Morocco for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we left so she could be a lawyer or a teacher or a doctor or to finish university. I didn't even finish uni. I did like a year and a half of uni, and then I left uni.
Damn.
Despite me being studious, despite me being the
gangster.
topper,
You're
So
awesome.
it's like God put me in a situation where they were not around, unfortunately, and then I made a decision to leave, and there was no one that could stop me. So when I was there and I told her, it did turn into like some crazy shit.
It did.
Not even gonna lie,
No.
Yeah, it was insane. Like the whole family got to know, how it is in brown families. Like the aunt
Yeah.
gets to know, and then the other aunt, and the other cousin, the neighbor, and this, that. So it got a little crazy, but I fought for it for so long. I mean, it didn't stop me. It just created like friction,
Yeah, of course.
within
Of
the
course.
family and stuff. And then, and then you have to deal with the first time they see you on TV. And then that becomes a problem.
Why
And
is that
then-
a problem though?
Well, because it's like, as much as like, for example, you know how moms are, they're always soft for the daughter and the son.
Yep.
So they'll see and they'll be kind of like, oh my God, my daughter and son is TV. But then there'll be someone in the ear like, oh, like, look at that. She's on TV, like the family name or this and that. And like, they start to brainwash and all that, like, influences around
Right.
happen. So she had to deal with that, and she wasn't around people who were very open-minded. So the battle between my daughter is different, and she's probably meant for this, and the world is obsessing over her, and they're loving her and accepting her, and it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So like technically she's destined for it, and I'm a believer of destiny, and she would be too. So she would battle between, oh, she's destined for this, but people are talking shit, and the community is like backward still.
Right.
So she had to battle a lot of that. And I think when I made it easier for me, because it was almost like, this is real. This is real. Like, it's not a joke. She's not like, and I think a lot of her traveling with me and then being around me when a lot of this is happening, she understood that because you know what happens, and I think that is the case for a lot of brown families, they bring up their kids well. Like, we have great foundations in terms of discipline and culture and beliefs, and how you're supposed to present yourself in the world and how you're supposed to deal with humans. I think most of brown families, they do good with their kids. Not just brown families, almost families, but I think I'm speaking about people like me and my background, right? And sometimes when you go out in the world, they're still unsure. They don't know if they did a good job, and they're scared. And I know, and fair enough, because you really don't know what your kids are doing when they go out in the world. You don't know if they succumb to peer pressure. You don't know if that person's going to play with their head.
Right.
You don't know if when it's time to face the different paths, are they going to take left or right?
Right.
They don't know as parents. So I think with my mom, as much as she was sure that she brought me up with the right values and beliefs, and my personality was intact, she doesn't know what I'm facing in India. She doesn't know who I'm dealing with, if I'm making the right decisions, if I'm presenting myself the right way, if I'm moving the right way. And I think after I made it, and her coming into my world and meeting a lot of people and listening to how they speak about me, she noticed that she did a good job. And I think that's where she kind of backed off and said, it's fine.
She felt
what I mean?
validated.
You're an adult, you're making your decision, and I did a good job, and I know you'll treat people right, you'll be fair, you won't cheat anybody. All the basic human aspects that makes you a good person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough, and I don't blame it. It's tough on any immigrant family. Like, they just want the best for their kids, and our world is crazy. Like, let's be honest, there is no stability and security in our world. You don't know when you're going to make your next check.
Yeah.
You don't know when the next money is coming in. You don't know when the next project's coming in. You don't know if you're going to be famous for 15 minutes or 15 years. It's crazy, and I can see why they would worry initially.
Of course.
And I'm a girl.
I'm just a girl. What do I know?
What do I know? You know what I mean? They're like, you're just a girl, stay home,
Right. Was there a point, though, when your parents were like, okay, she's good?
Well, honestly, I don't have these conversations with my dad.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. With my mom, I think it was, she's good when she started coming into my world.
What do you
She
mean by that?
realized, when she started coming to Dubai and coming to my shows, or meeting people who'd be like, oh my God, you're Nora Fatehi's mom. And like hearing them talk about me and seeing the videos on social media of kids and realizing, oh my God, kids love her. This means a lot,
It's nuts.
So there's a lot of things. And also her growing as a human and realizing like the world is bigger than, our community.
Right.
The world is bigger than what this person's saying or what that person's saying. And as I get older, my relationship with her gets closer, and I'm more open with her, and I can share my opinions about life based on what I've seen in life. And I think she has like a newfound respect for my hustle and the struggle I went through.
It makes sense now why you are who you are, because of, I guess, being independent since you were a kid.
Yeah,
You had
for
no
sure.
choice.
Yeah, 100%.
It shaped you. It kind of hardened you a little bit.
For
You have
sure.
thick skin. and you're willing to go out in an untapped territory and just try it out.
Yeah, and I think the ability to go out into like a new world and just throw yourself, kind of like throwing yourself in the ocean and just swim or drown,
Yeah.
I think I've also created this like inner voice that allows me to speak up for myself and to say what I want to say. Like I could be on a set and you're a director and you got your DOP and the producer and another artist. But if I see something that I feel like could help the video or help this movie or this project or this choreography or anything, I will say it.
Yeah.
And I'll say it confidently. So I think that's helped me throughout my journey, being able to speak my mind very confidently and standing like 10 toes down.
Yeah.
And people like respecting that and saying,
Yeah.
okay, well, she's bringing something to the table. She has some sort of substance and she's just not like a pretty girl who can dance.
Yeah. I think like standing on your word and like having something to say and being firm with your intentions is like super, super, super valuable. And it took me years to get that. I used to bend over for people and like do things that I wasn't really comfortable doing, but they kind of forced me to do, and it made me so unhappy. I'm like, this from now on, I am doing things that intuitively feel good to me.
I think you have to feel that feeling to be able to say, okay, now I'm doing what I want to do.
Yeah. You do. You might not even realize it.
Yeah. That's true.
I want to just tap into another conversation that we had recently, which was about the AI stuff.
Oh my God, don't get me started.
Last night we were you saw a Waymo car and you're like, what the f- are those
The
things?
ghost, the spirit driving itself. I see you.
So you haven't seen a self-driving car yet?
No, this is the first time, and like I like took a video of it and sent to my mom, and I'm like, it's a jinn. So jinn in my language means it's a spirit. And she was just, oh my God. She's like, it's a jinn driving it. So I'm like, yes, they embedded a spirit in the car. It's been like a whole talking point for the last 48 hours. I can't get over it.
Yeah, I didn't know that was your first time seeing it.
Yes. And my mom's like arguing me. She's like, no, there's a man somewhere like in like an office with a computer controlling it. And I'm like, no, it's a spirit. So going back and forth.
It is kind of crazy.
It is.
Did you see the robots yet?
I saw it's like the little
The food delivery
the
ones.
food delivery, and one of it like got stuck in a corner. I'm like, well, James's food is gonna be late. It's like,
Okay, I think those are controlled still.
yeah, I think so too.
Someone told me there's actually people in India control those.
Yeah, like,
That's what I've been told.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, he's sitting somewhere in Gujarat, like turning around on Sunset Boulevard. Oh no, I wouldn't be surprised. But the car thing is really
The car
like it
thing's a
has me
trip.
up.
The car thing is a trip.
It's tripping me out, and like I need to get to the bottom of this.
It's AI. It's not a soul. It's literally programmed.
Okay, it's AI. It's a soul programmed into the AI. Okay, pretty much. I will debate this with anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like code. It's like
okay, it's coded.
Math or like
it's math. It's like a little machine.
It is.
What's the algorithm? Like no one can tell me right now what an algorithm is. Like if anyone talks about algorithm, we talk about algorithm all day. But if I ask you what essentially is algorithm, nobody can answer that.
You know who can?
Who? Elon Musk.
ChatGPT can.
Yeah. And what is ChatGPT?
It's a learning language model, LLM.
Right.
And they basically train it on a bunch of data from everything.
Right.
And
then it's programmed.
It's trained, so I guess it's programmed from any information available on the internet.
Okay. So there's no limit to this programming and information in the internet. Like one can chat to it all day and potentially make it a boyfriend or a husband.
Oh my God, people have fallen in love.
It's not making any sense to me. But that's for another episode. Like you need to make like a separate episode. It's like dissecting futuristic stuff with Nora, Okay. Nora and Elon debate, or some shit like that.
But real quick, have you seen the video of the guy who like was cheating on his wife with AI or something? Like
no, but I've seen there's I don't know if 60 Minutes or some documentary I watched where they're just talking about a bunch of lonely people creating relationships with AI or ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's happening.
This is where then I was like, oh no. We need to dissect this properly because we're going into an era that none of you guys understand.
No.
I don't even understand myself.
Yeah.
But the fact that we don't ask questions and the fact that we're just like sleeping and we're like, oh, it's happening. we're going into the future. It's great we're going into the future, but we're not asking the right questions. That's my thing.
We're not. It's really I was just curious more on the AI front because I'm with a lot of producers now. I was just with a producer a few weeks ago and he was showing me music he was making. Like he basically had lyrics, right? And he input it into the software called Suno, which we talked about.
Yeah, you were telling me. That was the first time I heard of it.
Yeah. So Suno, he basically used this program. He had the lyrics and he showed me the same song as an R&B song and a country song. Same lyrics, but the AI basically made it multi-genre.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. But I think worse than that, I think is what popped up in my feed today, which was, it was like, oh no, all artists are in danger because this company, I forgot the name, have just created their first AI artist.
Yeah.
And they were playing the whole music video.
Were you scared?
No, because I was like, I'm not scared, but more of like, I am someone who needs answers to every question. And nobody's able to answer me like, okay, what is this? What is the foundation of this?
Mm-hmm.
How far is this going to go? Are we protected?
Mm-hmm.
Are there going to be laws that are going to protect artists and creators and directors and producers, et cetera, et cetera? Not even us. Are there going to be laws to protect your regular schmegular employees?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Your day-to-day sales associate or your day-to-day person at the airport counter or like, you know, the waiter or the cashier person. Like, are there any laws to protect them? Because somewhere I'm getting a little bit weird about or anxiety about when I go somewhere and suddenly there is no more workers.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I want to be served by people. It's not that. It's because I'm thinking about, well, where did they go?
Mm-hmm.
And how are they going to pay for their like livelihood and their bills and their families? Because right now, 12 people at the airport at the counter disappeared because it's AI.
Yep.
So where are they? Are they hired somewhere else or are they like unemployed? Like so many questions. And then my brain goes into like, if this is going to affect all industries, then there's going to be a large number of unemployed people, I would believe. Because right now I don't know where those people are.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're being given other jobs. I believe not.
Nope.
So now there's so many people unemployed and there's a bunch of robots. Then I think about like all the movies that were made about this, predictive programming. Then I think about, are all these people going to rebel against the government at one point because no one's going to have work and people are going to be like desperate? So I think my brain goes really far. And this is where questions are really important. And, you know, people need to talk about these things. And I recently, like last year, I was promoting for a film with a co-actor of mine. And one of the questions the interviewer asked was about AI. And if this is a good or bad thing. Mm-hmm. And my take on it, as you can see, was that this is worrying me. And I said why it would. And then my co-actor disagreed with me. He was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. And we kind of got into this weird argument in front of the camera because I'm like, I'm thinking about the people.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that we're forgotten to even be sensitive and humane to that extent because we're so excited about this advancement is really scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Here's my theory. It's not optimistic. I think it's optimistic for certain industries, but I think it's pessimistic overall. I think you're right. The average person's going to lose their job. I think what's going to happen is the governments from different countries, especially the capitalist ones like America, they're going to give everybody like a universal basic income. Everybody in America, you're guaranteed $40,000, $50,000 a year.
Yeah, and what, 50% tax will be deducted from that?
It's going to be different. It's going to be, here's what they're going to do. The corporations are going to get really rich.
Okay.
The business owners are going to get really rich.
Right.
The big corporations.
So 1% basically.
The 1% will get extremely rich. The wealth gap will be, right? So you have the average person making their base American universal income.
Okay.
They don't have to work. Groceries will be cheap.
Okay.
They're not going to have a lot of taxes.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, the government's going to be filthy rich because they don't have to pay any more employees. It's all going to be automated. Business owners are going to be filthy rich. Mm. And so people are going to live very simple, comfortable lives. Mm. Some people will be happy. Some people will be very depressed. Mm. Some people are going to spend that income on gambling, whatever. Yeah. They're going to lose their money. Some people might enjoy it, have a simple life. Some people are going to start robbing people because They realize, oh my God, I spent all my income. I can't make any more money. I need to start robbing people. It's going to be like a weird society. Now, here's what I think how it will
I
affect.
don't think that's going to be sustainable.
I-
Maybe if we were in the 50s or 60s or even in the 90s.
So I feel like there will be a rebellion. I agree with you. I don't know how the government will counteract it. I don't know if it's going to be like, are they going to use their robots at that point?
Well, probably
like
Transformers.
it's straight up.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
gonna be like-
But the problem why I think it's not sustainable is because it's too late. The population here and outside of America have been heavily exposed on social media. We've seen what it means to be rich. We know what it means to have the cars and the lifestyles. We know what it means to make money as an influencer. We know all of these things. So now if you're going to take that away from everybody and they're going to tell them, hey, you're going to essentially be, making bare minimum and then being like on social assistance or whatever that could be, it's going to create havoc because people have already developed the drive and hunger to become something.
Right.
So I think the boat has sailed. There's no way that could coexist in this time.
Right.
Also, what I think is so interesting is a perspective of someone who's born in the 90s versus perspective of like a Gen Z or like a Z Alpha. I don't even know what the next generation. Gen Alpha would be because they did not see the evolution we did, which is so mind-blowing because you go from seeing just the start of the internet.
Yeah.
The dial-up.
Yes.
Whatever that is.
Phones in the 90s.
No cell phones. And
or
then
internet.
So we are like in a very weird space. Then we saw like flip phones, and then we saw the first ever camera phone, and then like an iPod, and damn, that is crazy. So we've literally existed in the most craziest evolution. I don't think any generation has seen what we've seen, and now we're seeing AI and like a car is driving itself. So like, sorry if I mind, but like really, if you sit and you evaluate, it's a lot to deal with. You need therapy by the end of it.
Right. It's actually kind of crazy to see like I had my grandma like talk to ChatGPT in Farsi. And for her, it's like, what the?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, our generation and probably our grandmas, if they're still alive, they've seen a crazy shift. It's so unfathomable.
It's insane how the world is just completely changing.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Okay, I want to wrap it up with one thing. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is where it gets fun.
I mean, I'm just a girl. What do I know?
What?
What is it? Cards? Don't tell me rapid fire. Oh my God, the lights are going off. What's going on? It's red. I love it. I love the color red. Is it red?
Yeah.
It is.
It's
my lucky color.
It's a little tradition we have at the end of every episode.
All right.
There's a deck of cards, okay? You're just picking one card, okay? But you can shuffle it. You can just close your eyes, reach for one. I just want you to pick one card, read the question, and give me an answer that comes straight from the soul.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. All right. So do I shuffle?
Yes, you can shuffle. You don't have to. Just do what you want.
This is ASMR with Nora. Just a girl, what do I know? We're shuffling cards at the moment. Can you hear that?
Is it ASMR?
Shit! Oh, shit. Okay, I got this. I didn't see anything.
It's okay.
Anything.
It's
I'm
okay.
shuffling them. We're shuffling them.
Whatever, top, center.
I got it. Ready?
Read it.
Okay. What is one thing you want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered for shattering stereotypes.
Wow.
Like the one who's like, she did that? Wow, good for her. I want to follow her.
That's a great answer.
Legacy.
That's a great answer.
Yes.
Legacy, I think, is big in your DNA.
I hope I can do it. I definitely would be the first in my family to ever do it. You know what's really crazy? It's so weird that I'm even thinking about this. So, like there are people who believe in past lives, right? And then, then there's astrology and then there's this and that and the third. I live in a world where all of that exists, right? It's India. So that's what I love about it. It's just like you can discover so many things, right? So there was this one person, crazy, who said like in the generations of my family, one fine day, I don't know what era this was, right? because obviously like it's an ancestral thing. Like there was someone in my ancestors who was meant to be this huge thing. Like I don't know if it was a star or what it was. And she was like on the journey of making it happen. And she got into like a car accident and died. And she was never able to fulfill that. And so my spirit is fulfilling that finished the journey of her. I don't know. It's so creepy. But like I was told that by one of these like people there. And I was like, yo, that is crazy. Like obviously like it's crazy to believe.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, you know, the world is such a big place and hundreds of thousands of years have passed and there's always a connection to something.
Right.
So I'm always like, could that be?
That could be.
That would be so. That could be a movie idea, by the way.
Yeah, that's an awesome movie idea.
Like if there's like a past life movie connection, like
that's dope. Should we make that a movie?
That could be a really interesting movie.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of those readings or no?
I mean, no, but it was like it's so random. You know, it's like someone came into like a set and like they were just randomly sitting and then they just say it to you. You know, it's like one of those moments where things just come to you. I was like, really? Tell me more, you know?
Yeah. I kind of believe that stuff.
You know what? One must always be open-minded.
Yeah.
We are literally beings on this planet and there are things that we will never understand that are way bigger than us.
Yeah. I want to just end on one thing that's so interesting to me. I keep thinking about this. Like you made a decision to sign to an agency. And if you, and okay, just so I understand one more time, was this agency more catering towards like Bollywood productions?
No, there is no such thing as an agency catering to a Bollywood production. No. In Toronto, I decided one fine day, there was a trigger. I will leave that for another episode. But there was a trigger at that time in my life that made me go on Google. And I Googled the best agency in Toronto. And the first one that came up, I said, let me call it. I called them and some guy picks up. He was Pakistani, picks up. And I was like, listen, I want to be a star. I don't know how to start. But I believe in myself. I think I could dance. I think I could act. I think I'm cute. Da-da-da. He thought it was endearing. Calls me to the office. Walks me through what it takes to even get into this world, which means like you need to have a portfolio. You need to have your pictures. You need to audition. You need to be able to walk. I didn't know any of this stuff. Okay. So that was my first eye-opener. I started building up like photos and learning how to do this and that and what it means to go to an audition. In the meantime, very short, I'm talking about a span of 10 days, 10, 15 days. He gets a call from an international agency in Turkey, India, and Dubai. And they were like, we like her photos. Does she want to come do a 3-month contract? So when I spoke to him, we zeroed in on India because he was like, look, essentially, you're trying to act. You know how to dance or you think you know how to dance. You like music. India could be the right place for you. And I was like such an ambitious girl at that time. I'm like, you don't got to tell me twice. Let's go. I book my flight, sign the contract. I'm on the flight to India with like 7 suitcases of mine. And that is how I went to India because that agency signed me in India. So I go to India through that agency, a modeling agency. So what they do is they send you to auditions to, you know, book ads, campaigns, modeling jobs, catalog shoots. But in the process, I decided I want to take this further. But they were not able to help me with that. That's why I left. That's why they kept my money.
I see.
Yeah.
See, I'm fascinated with that decision though, because if it weren't for that one decision for you to Google and find that agency and have that guy tell you this is your market, like you would probably be a whole different person today.
I was just talking about this with my best friend. So I flew my best friend down. She's my childhood best friend. Her name is Bai. She came down to hang out with me a few days because I was a bit lonely. And we were sitting talking and then I was like, Bai, like, could you imagine if I didn't make that decision, what I would be doing right now in Toronto? And she was like, yeah, you would be like struggling still, just trying to make ends meet.
Maybe.
And probably extremely depressed. And I was like, why do you think I'd be extremely depressed? And she's like, because your spirit would be so unhappy because it would have known you're not doing what you're meant to be doing. So I was like, I think she's right.
So you're following your divine purpose.
100%.
I love that for you.
We've not reached the destination yet.
No.
I can tell you that for sure.
You may never reach it.
Well.
Because you might be chasing the next thing.
You know when you reach the destination.
Really?
I think when one is destined for bigger things and has a legacy to achieve, when they achieve it, they know that, oh, this was the destination. This is why all of this stuff happened. It was for this.
Oh, see, I'm of the school of thought, like I just never am satisfied with things, so I'd be afraid that the destination keeps changing.
Well,
you know?
but destination changing is beautiful because, like, if you're not changing destinations, how are you not going to reach the final stage? If you don't change your destination, you're just like staying put, right?
Right. I see
You're
what you're saying.
idle. Yeah.
Yeah. So the flight just gets longer.
Like
and
if you
longer.
didn't go from like, I don't want to just do music videos for male rappers, then you would have not like done music videos for Nicki Minaj. You have not done videos for Lotto, for Shenseea, for this, that, and the third. And then you would have not met me and did a video with me.
Right, that's true. All roads led to Nora.
No. Oh, sweet. No, but you know what I mean. This, then you don't know where this will take you.
Yeah.
He could have said no and said, I don't know this.
Nah.
You know, like, she's not known in America. Why am I going to work with her? Right. You said yes, right? Because you liked the song. You thought it was exciting. And plus, you know, you saw the bigger vision. You don't know where this is going to take you and vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I like could have said, I don't know. I mean, I could have said, no, let me work with a white guy. Do you know what I mean? Like you could be, when you come from that type of world and you're trying to make it here and cross over, you do have a narrow mind. You're like, I want to work with white people. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to like solidify myself. But like you said you were from Iran. I was like, let's go. Iranian people are talented. You know, they have art in their veins. So you never know. We do things and things happen for a reason, and it always opens another door.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
This is fun.
I hope you guys like our new music video, Just the Girl, What Do I Know?
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. She looks awesome.
Thank you.
The dance is fun. The colors are great. The vibes are great. Your outfits are cool. Like you just look like a star.
And thank you for presenting me that way. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. All day.
All right.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for being here. I got one last closing tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Nora, let's thank our audience. Let's thank everybody watching.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, let's give a big round of applause to ourselves.
Yay!
To ourselves.
Of course. And thank you everyone for tuning in and taking the time. This might be a long episode, so if you've stuck through it and watched the whole thing, do like leave a nice comment and share your stories too. I love to read everyone's stories and kind of connect. And yeah, thank you. We love you.
Love you. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Everything she just said, please. And we're out.
Yay!
Peace, everyone.